What is gravy, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a hot minute since we've done a trophy list update. It's been months since we've done one. In fact, I think I've only done one since I actually started my new account. And in that video, we only had 4 platinum trophies. It wasn't the best start, it wasn't the fastest start. And unfortunately, in the preceding months, things haven't exactly picked up in speed. We do have more platinums. We also have more games. We have a couple more unfinished games, which I'm currently working on. And I'm ashamed to admit, some of the games I hadn't finished in the last video have barely been touched since. But one of them has, and that's where we're kicking things off today, because I finished Little Nightmares again. I got the 100% again. I did the speed run again. It wasn't as bad the second time around, I will say that, but I've talked enough about Little Nightmares on this channel. I don't need to go into it anymore. You guys know how much I love this game. So we'll go on to the next new game on the list, What Remains of Edith Finch, which, yes, there was a PS5 update, and yes, they gave that game a platinum trophy. They also added a couple of different ones in there, which kind of, I mean, it didn't extend the time at all. You can see on the screen right now, it took me literally just over 2 hours to do. The game is not long, but it's still amazing and I love it so much. The way they use different gameplay mechanics for each thing and the creativity behind that is something I've always enjoyed. If we quickly pull up the trophy list, we can see there is not many trophies at all. They're all golds. It's probably a little bit of a grubby platinum, I'll be honest with you, but at the same time, it's just that good. It is just that good. And I mean, there's, like I said, there's a couple of different trophies. The one for taking a picture of a rabbit, which was not in the original game, I believe. I'm pretty sure there was another one. There's another one somewhere. Maybe I'm just imagining things. I think I might just be imagining things. Anyway, we did that again. Absolutely adore that game. Moving swiftly on. Yes, GTA is still not finished. I'm sorry, Trophy Bob. At some point next year, I'm going to get to it. I promise you. I promise you. But I'm struggling to readjust to the PS2 game sort of style. I mean, GTA's never been my favourite series. I do really love those games, especially the PS2 trilogy. But going back to it now has been harder than I expected. And there's just been so many games coming out, and because it was taking me so long getting into it, I just sort of put a pause on it and haven't really gone back to it, like you can see, since August pretty much. So I'll get to it at some point because I promised T that I would do, so I'm so sorry. I swear I love the game. I do. I don't want you thinking that I hate on all your favourite games like you keep telling me that I do. I don't. But speaking of your favourite games, Jak and Daxter The Precursor Legacy. I, again, really enjoyed this game. I wasn't a Jak and Daxter kid. I didn't really play them too much on the PS2. I made the mistake of playing this remaster on Vita. It does not run well. I really wish I'd done it on the PS4 instead. I feel like I'd have had a significantly better time. But I still did it. It was nice to sort of, this is why I wanted the Vita so much, because it's a good way to just pick up and play for an hour or so when you can't be bothered going and sitting at your setup and turning on a console and all of that rubbish. Just pick up the Vita, play for a couple of hours, and that's basically what I did, which is why it took me a month. Well, 2 months pretty much. I don't know why PSN doesn't count 4 weeks as a month, but it took me 2 months to do because I was literally just slowly chipping away at it. There is a couple of, I think, Vita specific things that you have to do for this one. In relation to some of the mini games, you have to use the touchpad to actually succeed in the mini games, and if you don't, I believe they don't actually register as the trophies. But I mean, it's a puzzle platformer, it's Jak and Daxter, it's, you know, it is what it is. Next on the list is a game I picked up completely on a whim. I'm usually quite good at this. Cult of the Lamb is a brilliant game. I absolutely loved it. However, I bought it pretty much at launch on the PlayStation, I believe. And there was quite a lot of bugs. And it seemed like every time they fixed the bug, a new bug was born. There was bugs where all of your sort of cultists just vanished, which meant you had to quit the game, reload every single time it happened. There was a bug where every time you perform a ritual in the game, all of your cultists would just freeze in that like animation. They wouldn't actually leave, and therefore you had to quit and reload the game. It just became a whole thing, and I was actually going to do a video on it, and I mean, as you can see, I platinumed the game in September. That video clearly didn't happen. As with a lot of stuff, it's just been, you know, it's been a whole thing. Real life gets ahead of you sometimes, doesn't it, guys? That's all we can say. But I really enjoyed the game. I loved just the entire vibe of the thing. And I mean, some of the gameplay is a bit, yeah. A lot of the cult building aspects I found I didn't actually use. Primarily because I couldn't think of an easy way of tearing it all down and moving things like you would in a normal, like an Animal Crossing. Like an Animal Crossing, you can move buildings around and things like that. And as far as I was aware, then I could be wrong, I couldn't figure out any way of actually doing that. So yeah, I sort of just left a lot of it to the wayside. But I really loved the dungeon crawling. The dungeon crawling was great fun. Even if some of the no-hit trophies were a massive pain in the backside. Anyway, now we move on to the fun one, because if you may recall, I started Crypt of the Necrodancer, and I'm very proud to admit that so far, since I made that video, I have a whole 2 trophies. Yeah, it's been slow going. It's been very slow going. I'm on one hand, I don't want to get frustrated with it, which is why I'm sort of pacing myself. On the other hand, again, there's just so many games coming out that finding the time to properly sink into this game is a bit of a struggle. Now that things are slowing down a little bit, at least for me, over Christmas, I might actually put some serious time into it. One of the lads in our Discord, Deke, he is absolutely crushing it because he's also started it, and he's leaps and bounds ahead of me. I think he's done some of the sort of individual trophies. It's like the complete all zones mode with each character. He's done some of those. He's even done one of the really hard ones. I can't remember which one it was. Deke, you'll have to let me know. I think it's Dove. I think it was Dove that he did. But yeah, he's absolutely killing it. But 2 trophies, I'm chuffed. It's on the list, as you guys can see, so I'm never going to forget that it's there. I can't forget that it's there. It is permanently locked on the list. And I'm hoping to, like I said, put some serious time into it coming soon. Moving on, I redid Astro's Playroom. Yeah, if you guys saw the last video, I decided to try and speedrun the platinum, well, the 100%, and that is purely because of how quickly I managed to do it on this account. So I managed to do it here in, like I said, just over 3 hours, and I did it purely because I wanted to make a specific trophy, a specific platinum, my number 10, which, again, I've talked about milestones before, but this is one that I really wanted to focus on, so I had to do sort of 2 quick games and get them out of the way. The second of those games was The Artful Escape, which, again, a really short game, but absolutely fantastic. I loved every second of it. It was not what I expected at all, I have to say. I didn't expect the sort of rhythm game, sort of Simon Says puzzle aspects to it. It wasn't really a puzzle, you just have to play the notes in the right order. But it was just really fun, and it was absolutely trippy as hell. It involves space and aliens and all of that good stuff, so I'd highly recommend that one. If you're looking for just a simple, quick game to get through, definitely try The Artful Escape. I think it's included in the extra tier of Plus as well. So no extra incentives, guys. Go play that game. You will not regret it. Which brings us to the 10th platinum on this new account, and the one that I kind of was saving for that moment, The Last of Us Part 1. Yeah, I bought this game at, well, retail price. Well, I didn't. If you don't know, I work in a game shop, so I got it slightly cheaper. And that for me was okay. I felt okay paying that price. I wouldn't have bought it for £70. I wouldn't have. It's a fantastic remake. It looks incredible, but I wouldn't have bought it for 70. I just wouldn't have. However, having played it, and for the first time I played the DLC as well. I had never played the DLC before. I adored every single moment of it. The actual journey for the platinum is so nice and it's so easy. They make it really, really straightforward, especially going back for collectibles. All you've got to do is load up the specific part of the chapter, find the collectible, and you can just quit. And that's it. It's saved already. You don't have to run through an entire chapter to get it. You don't have to do some crazy shenanigans. All you need to do is jump in, grab the collectible, and get out. And that's brilliant. I love that. I absolutely love that about this game. If you want to play it, you will have played it. If you're not bothered about it, I mean, you can play the original. You can play the original. I said before, I'm never going to platinum the original because I just don't want to. But, you know, I was happy to do it for the remake. Next on the list, we have another brand new unfinished game in Session. I regret doing this, guys. I really do. I have spoken before about Skater XL and how much I loved the EA Skate series, and that's the sort of vibe we were getting from these games. And I played Session in early access on Steam and really enjoyed myself. But I'm not enjoying the final product as much as I would have hoped. And that's kind of evident in the fact that I've plopped one trophy, and I'm kind of annoyed that I have that one trophy because it means I'm kind of stuck with it now. And it's not even that it's not doable. So if we take a look at the trophy list right now, it's a very doable game if you can get on board with how it plays, which in comparison to Skater XL, I feel like Session is much more of a sim, which is in the name. It's called Skate Sim. It's much more simulator than Skater XL is, which is pretty simulation heavy to begin with. But this one is just leaps and bounds. The physics of everything is really difficult to get your head around, at least for me. And I just don't enjoy it as much. I know I moaned about Skater XL's trophies, but I mean, if you look at the trophy list for this game, it's just a lot of numbers. Which, I love this, by the way, that PSNProfile has like the numbers on here. Complete all historical challenges. There's 335 of those. Those are basically little tiny challenges in the world where it's like you do a trick onto a like ledge and that's it. Sort of, you'll get a trophy for it. Well, you'll not get a trophy. Eventually, you do that 335 times and you'll get a trophy for it. Complete all historical challenges in New York City. 169 of those. So this is obviously, you get one for each of them and then one for all of it. Slide or grind for 42 kilometers. You know we love that. I mean, at least it's not the circumference of the planet, but you know. My one trophy, complete the tutorial. Where are we? See, it's just a lot of numbers. Complete all these missions. Complete all these missions. Complete all these missions. Buy 50 items. Do literally thousands of tricks. Like, all of these are based on tricks. So, yeah. Like, 1001 kickflips. Why? Why is that a trophy? Why are any of these trophies? They're not sort of skill based. They're just grind, and that's ironic in a skating game, but it is. They are literally just grind, and that's not fun. It's just really not fun. I genuinely do regret starting this game on my new account. This is one where I absolutely should have started it on my old account and just played it and just realised that I wasn't a massive fan of it and sort of stopped. But we're stuck now, and I mean, it's probably doable, like I said at the start. I think the only thing that's caused me issues at the minute is this trophy, which manual catch means that when you do the trick, you have to input to then stop the trick from spinning, otherwise you'll just go flying. So like if you do a kickflip and the board goes like this, you have to stop it here with the manual catch, otherwise it's just going to keep spinning and you'll go flying and you'll fall flat on your face. So that's going to be interesting. This is one that's probably going to be incomplete for a while. Because, yeah. Moving on to some more positives then. Next on the list, I don't even know what it is. Oh, here we go. So we're almost at the end already. Because next up we have A Plague Tale Requiem, which, again, absolutely adore the sequel. I think, for me, I'm not sure if I'd say it's better than the original, but the gameplay systems and the skill systems they've implemented in the sequel, for me, are better. There's some annoying trophies. The trophy list is very similar to the first game, in that you have to get through all of the chapters, you have to unlock all of Amici's skills, you have to upgrade all of her weapons and like techniques and stuff, and pick up all of the collectibles. And that's basically it. What I love about this though is that yes, it does require multiple 1.5 playthroughs, shall we say, and that's purely to upgrade the skills, which, side note, they upgrade naturally based on how you play the game, which I really, really enjoyed. So there's sort of 3 skill trees, there's stealth, there's like alchemy, and then there's full-on rage-fueled I am Ellie from The Last of Us 2 mode, which all upgrade depending on how many enemies you kill in encounters, and I just really enjoyed that. But the game as a whole is fantastic. The platinum is, again, doable, enjoyable. I am biased because I love these characters and the story, but yeah, definitely worth a go. And if you've seen on the right hand side, I've already spoiled the most recent platinum on the account, but we'll keep going for now. Next up we have Bastion. Bastion is my next Vita game that I'm working on, again quite slowly chipping away every now and again. I've never played it. I own it for at least a year, I think, and that was, I think I bought it around the time Hades came out because I was enjoying that game so much. And if you didn't know, Bastion is by the same people that make Hades. It's sort of like an isometric dungeon crawling game. It's really fun and I'm really enjoying it. A lot of the trophies are kind of end game related or new game plus related, so there's sort of a long span of time where you won't get any, which is, you know, kind of why I've only got 4. But I mean, loving it, definitely chipping away at that slowly. Next we have Modern Warfare 2, which I have enjoyed. I've done all of the single player trophies. The only thing I've got left is the Spec Ops, which I have been doing with someone from the Discord, and I promised I am getting back to it now because the most recent game I've done is actually finished, so I can finally get back to that. There's only, I think, like 3 or 4 Spec Ops trophies, and they're all pretty easy. I mean, it's a Call of Duty game. The platinum's always going to be on the rarer end just because of how many people play the game, but loved it. The veteran playthrough as well, not too bad. Probably, again, on the same level to like 2019's Modern Warfare. What's next? Oh, Spyro. Yes, I finally got around to playing the Reignited trilogy. I had to think about what it was called then. And this was a desperate attempt to try and get a couple more platinums to to make God of War 15. Spoilers, Platinum God of War. It's obviously not worked because I ran out of time. But I love Spyro so much. Fun fact, my main memory of Spyro is playing the Game Boy version, which is probably not the ideal version to be playing, but that's the one I had, so that's the one I played. I've absolutely loved getting back to these. It's nice to have a nice easy game to play every now and again. And I mean, I'm going to be jumping back into this one now, straight away pretty much. So I want to knock that one out of the park, get that one done. I'll do the whole trilogy at some point, but maybe not right away. Also, those flying missions can get in the bin. But if I'm thinking correctly, brings us to the last game on the list. Yeah, God of War Ragnarok. I did it in just under 2 weeks. I think my final playtime was about 45 hours. My game of the year, hands down. It just is. I adored everything about it. The story was fantastic. One of the best video game stories I've ever seen. The performances from all of the actors was stellar. And while I do have some thoughts, which I'm going to save for a later video, which may not gel too well with everyone, I still stand by him. It is my game of the year. Of all the games I personally played this year, Ragnarok's the top. It just is. And that's all I've really got to say about it for now. Platinum time is not so bad. Like, it's very, very similar to 2018's God of War. So if you've done that one, you kind of know what you're in for. A lot of collectibles, a lot of doing side quests, a lot of story, and a lot of rather challenging endgame bosses. But I'd highly recommend playing the game. Even if you're not going to go for the platinum, just play the game. Make a second account, play it. I don't care. Do what you're going to do. Just experience that story. You won't regret it. You really, really won't. But there we go. That is my current trophy list as of whatever day it is. It's like the end of November. It's probably going to be the last trophy update before the new year. Mainly because I don't see myself getting that many more platinums in the end, like next month or so. I might do, and if I do, I might do another video. Well, who knows? We'll find out. But as you can see, 12 platinum trophies. My completion percentage still holding kind of steady, 71.6%, which will be getting cleaned up. Like I said, I'm going back to Spyro. I'm going to do the Call of Duty multiplayer. Bastion I'm going to still chip away at. And I've got a bunch of the games that I've talked about in the past videos ready sort of to go, including some of those ultra rare platinums, which that's going to be a whole lot of fun. I do also have a challenge in mind for next year, which I'll probably talk about a bit closer to the time, which I think is going to be kind of fun. But I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below what sort of games you guys have been playing. I really do want to know. I love talking about it with all you guys. As always, if you want to talk more about games, we're part of a fantastic Discord. I will leave the link in the description down below. If you want to see another video, there is one right over there. And I shall catch you guys next time.